Hello lovelies, I'm Cameron. Welcome to my muaffice. I'm happy you're here and I'm excited to walk you through today's look, mainly because it's just #relatable. It's about mid-April right now, and historically speaking, most people have summer vacation on the brain. They're thinking pool, beach, sunshine, warmth, outside. And since we're all staying home for the foreseeable future, those plans have been put on hold. With that in mind, now's the time to be adaptable, get creative, and think inside the house. We're talking sunshiny eyes and sun-kissed skin, all in the comfort of our own homes. I know for some of us, just the thought of even showering on a daily basis is exhausting, let alone putting on any type of makeup, but this is for when you're feeling up for it or bringing some razzle-dazzle with you behind your mask to the grocery store. Starting with skin, I've already prepped my skin with my moisturizer and sunscreen. Yes, we are still wearing sunscreen while we're inside. Since I'm thinking of wearing this look under a mask, I don't want my base to be too shiny, too dewy, mainly because I want it to stay on my face and not transfer onto the mask. So I didn't use super dewy, juicy skincare today, and I'm going to keep my foundation more on the matte side. In order to still get a good glow, just without the potentially greasy texture that I might get from dewy foundations and dewy skincare products, I'm going to add a liquid highlighter into my soft matte foundation. I've got 2 pumps of my UOMA foundation. I chose it specifically for this look for its comfortable, soft matte finish. It's still very breathable on the skin, and the coverage is buildable from medium all the way to full. Mixing that on the back of my hand with maybe half a pump of Marc Jacobs Dewdrops, one of my all-time favorite highlighters, not just because of the color, but because of the texture. For a liquid, it dries down completely with no tacky finish. Using a clean, damp sponge to blend it all out. Was that as cool as I hoped it would be? I'll let you be the judge. Now for a little concealer, using KKW just under my eyes to brighten, using the same sponge to blend. I love concealer. Concealed. And now, for arguably the best part of this whole look, our sun-kissed look, bronzer. We're faking it till we make it. Bronzer has got to be one of my all-time favorite products. A little can go a long way. It totally just boosts my mood, and I just feel like I'm the girl from Ipanema or something. Maybe. And it kills me that seemingly every brand is coming out with a bronzer right now. I feel like it happens every year around this time, but it just kills me every single time because I want them all and I just don't need them all. This is my current favorite bronzer. Liquid formulations are quickly becoming my favorite because it gives you that self-tanner feel without being too intense, but it's not too powdery and it's not too creamy / potentially greasy feeling. I have some on the back of my hand. I'm going to use the same sponge as before and tap it onto the points of my face where I would naturally be getting some sun and just where I want some warmth. Since this Dr. Hauschka formula is a tint, it has a very liquidy, watery texture to it, which makes it easily blendable and buildable, and it's very sheer, so you have a lot of control over the layers and out of the intensity that you get. I want a little bit more. I love this stuff. It's so thin, it applies evenly, it blends really nicely. Look at how natural it looks. And it dries nicely too. And it's great because you can just add it to your moisturizer or even just on bare skin. I do want to bump this bronzer up just a little bit more, mainly just because I can, and because I don't know the next time I'm gonna actually be tan. Using a powder this time, Bahama Mama from the Balm, lightly tracing over the first layer and focusing a little bit closer to the cheekbone for a light contour. Then just a little more on the bridge of the nose for a little extra kiss from the sun. And now, it's time for blush. Using the same brush as bronzer, just to really double up on the color, dipping it into my Becca Tiger Lily, one of my favorite corally peachy tones with a really slight shimmer to it, patting it right in the apple of my cheeks and blending it out to meet my bronzer. Also bringing it a touch farther down on the cheek for more of a natural flush. This look is called I Just Fell Asleep in My Pool Chair and Woke Up with the Perfect Golden Glow with the margarita by my side. Time for some powder highlight to bring it all together. Lightly tapping on the top of my cheekbone, up to my brow bone, kind of in the shape of a C, because this is where the light hits and you get that bam, bam, Bam! If you're using a lot of matte or powder products like I am today, I'm using them because my skin can get pretty oily throughout the day and I want to avoid as much transfer and melting as possible. I don't want my makeup to move a lot and I don't want it to transfer on my mask. Using a powder blush with a little bit of shimmer or powder highlight like we are right now is a great way to get the glow that you want while still keeping actual oil under control. This is all powder. I like to put just a little above my brow, at my brow bone, on top of my cheekbone, and down to my chin, again where light would naturally be hitting. And now for brows, which are a little extra important because all we're seeing is basically this much of our face. Using this Benefit pencil just to draw in where I need a little extra fullness. Applying really light pressure in the front to keep it light and not too harsh, building up as I go throughout where I want a little extra depth, and brushing through with the spoolie to soften the lines. We all know the phrase, they're sisters, not twins, and even that can be a little bit hard sometimes, so today, it's okay if they're just like vague acquaintances. Now using some clear boy brow just to brush through and groom my brows and make sure they stay in place. And now, it's eyeshadow time. I just primed my lids using this MAC paint pot and a fluffy brush, just all over the lid. These paint pots from MAC are the truth, I'm telling you. They're a makeup artist's staple. It's a cream eyeshadow with a matte finish that has crazy staying power. It works great on its own or as a primer for other shadows. Using this Topaz Obsessions palette from Huda Beauty, this fluffy eyeshadow brush from Colourpop, starting with this tangerine shade. Applying this very liberally, starting at the crease, all over my lid, and building up the intensity as I go. This turned out a little bit more yellow on my skin than I was planning, so I'm going to take this darker orange shade with the same brush, apply it over the yellow, and just blend the two together. I'm done with my base color. I like where it is. Now, for some razzle dazzle, I'm going to take this light gold shade, use my ring finger, and apply it directly to the center of my lid, almost as if there's a streak of light going right through. Layering some more, building up the intensity however much you like. I love creating this effect with shimmer shadows, especially with these colors because it almost looks like the sunset on the horizon. Potentially dramatic comparison, but I like it. It speaks to me. Taking a flat shader brush and the orange color from before and applying it directly to the lower lash line. Tapping it in at the root of the lash and blending it out for a little bit more shadow. And adding a little bit of the lighter yellow over top just to blend the two together. Now, going back in with my gold shimmer shade, using my ring finger, and doing the same strike-through effect on the bottom lashes. This feels very Katie Jane Hughes, and I love it. That's pretty much the eye look before we get to mascara, but for a little bit of extra color, shimmer, warmth, I want to use one of my all-time favorite eyeshadow toppers. It's the Kaja Beauty Bento. They come in a lot of beautiful shade ranges. The one I'm using is called Orange Blossom, and I'm going to take this middle peachy shade and apply it directly over top of the golden shadow. Still using my finger and just tracing the gold. The layers and the dimension of the eyeshadow is what's really going to be eye-catching. It literally looks like you're looking at the sun. Now for lashes, giving them a quick curl, starting as close as you can get to the root of the lash, doing a couple pumps, releasing, and then moving just up to the middle of the lash and pumping again so that you get a more gradual curl. Now using Glossier Lash Lick Mascara. It separates and lengthens your lashes and holds a curl really well actually, and probably the best part is that it just comes off super easily with warm water. This mascara is nice because it gives a really nice natural look to the lashes. You can build it up a little bit if you want more drama like I did. I added some layers, but it never gets too thick or heavy, which is good for a look like this because we don't want to take away from the razzle-dazzle sunset that's happening right on top of your eyeballs. And since it's a fiber mascara, meaning it coats and builds these little extensions on your lashes, it means it won't smudge as much as other mascaras. Moving on to lips and keeping this warm, peachy, tangerine vibe going, I'm going to line my lips with my favorite lip liner, Natural from NYX. Starting on the outside just to enforce the shape a little bit more without overdrawing too much today. And then starting to shade in the inner corners for some added depth, using my finger to blend those edges. To fill in the lip and keep the matte yet comfortable, least transferable as possible look going, I'm going to be using Glossier Generation G in the shade Cake. It's a great peachy tone that's sheer but buildable. Both the formula and the color blend really nicely with the lip liner that I chose, and ultimately it ties the whole look together with the eyeshadow. So far, I totally love this look. Taking a moment to just assess and take everything in. We're almost done, but there's some finishing touches that I need to do. Gonna take away some shine with some mattifying powder, and bump up the blush just a teeny bit. And here we are, our finished look, our sun-kissed, sunshiny eye, glowy look. So when you wear this and you're outside, maybe you're going grocery shopping, you've got your mask on, so from the nose up, all people can see is the light dancing off your dazzling lids. And then when you get home, look in the mirror, take off your mask, then wash your hands. And it's basically like you're looking directly into the sun itself. In a good way. It's dramatic, I know. I'm a Leo, can you tell? While we're at it, let's actually test to see if this transfers or not. Bum ba da ba. Always, always the hoop. Pretty not bad, I gotta say. I'd call that a success. I really hope you enjoyed this look and that it encourages you to just take the time to do what feels good, play around, and to look good while you do what you gotta do. Whether you're out at the store or inside on the couch, you've got that sun-kissed glow wherever you go. And just know, I'm totally with you as well. I'm envisioning beach days for myself sometime in the future. Our time will come. As always, thank you so much for hanging out. I greatly appreciate you lovely people. I'm here if you have any questions. Let's have a conversation in the comments. If you've missed any of my last videos, check them out over here. And I'll see you next time. Love you.